Hi, I'm Mr. Hirschfeld. I'm high school assistant principal in my first year here at Salina High School.
How much money do you make?
My salary, I believe, is around $63,000 per year. That contract is based on 260 work days along with paid vacation. So while teachers and other support staff have a pretty good summer vacation, I will work the entire year with about 4 weeks of paid vacation to occur anytime during the calendar year.
What are your hours?
My hours, pretty long. It depends. A lot of flexibility, obviously, during the school days when we're busiest is what you'd think. However, most of our work actually kind of seems to take place after students are out of the building. Usually get here between 6:30, 6:45 in the morning, and leave between 4:30 and 5 o'clock at night. So 10, 11-hour days, especially during the school year. And then when students are not in the building, that'd be the summertime and holiday breaks, for example, have some shorter hours at that time. But that doesn't include things like extracurriculars that we go to in terms of maybe a basketball game, football game, bowling match, swim meet. All that stuff occurs as well outside of our regular day.
What are your benefits?
Benefits, I'm assuming like compensation type benefits. All right. Benefits, full health insurance, dental, vision, those types of things. Those are all a part of the compensation package. With the option to opt out of that if we have a spouse that can provide those things, which is what I do personally. But they're available as well as a condition of employment. Health insurance is pretty good. It's not as no insurance is as awesome as it used to be. Just with the reform in healthcare, there's more out-of-pocket costs than ever before, and some costs are going up as far as paycheck deductions. But it's still a pretty good set of benefits.
What are the qualifications for this career?
Qualifications to be an assistant principal, you have to have a bachelor's of some kind, typically, and then you also have to have 3 years of education experience. So you have to be credentialed as a teacher, be in a classroom for a minimum of 3 years, and then there's a couple alternatives, but typically you have a master's in administration or school leadership, which is typically a 2-year program beyond that. And then once you have a master's, you can apply for a license to be a principal, as I am.
What interests should you have for this career?
The great thing about education, there's a lot of different ways you can kind of look at it, and it depends if you kind of think about being an administrator as a long-term career, or if you want to move up or elsewhere in a district, for example. Me, just at the building level as an administrator, a lot of interest just in meeting the needs of students. It's a lot different as a teacher. You meet some of their educational needs, you appeal to their interests, and obviously teach them what you have to teach them. As an administrator, it's a lot different. Your relationships are a lot different. A little more corrective from a discipline standpoint as an administrator, but also kind of a neat chance to have some good conversations about life decisions and life directions and interests and passions, and help advise students in that way too. So you got to be interested in all those things, but you can also be very interested in special education. You can be very interested in the legal side of education, which is a really huge field. Some people are very interested in curriculum, or the idea of how a series of courses interact and work as a student progresses through their education. So there's a lot of different aspects of education you can be passionate about as a person, and still just be a building administrator, as I am.
What does the job entail?
Job entails a little bit of everything. Every day's different for sure. You walk in with a to-do list and you might get 2 things done out of 10, or you might get everything done. Well, that's never happened, but it's different every day. You have unexpected student behaviors, behavior issues. As an assistant principal in a building, I'm primarily responsible for discipline and those things. So I do a lot of detentions. I handle most of the suspensions. I go to expulsion hearings with the superintendent if they should arise. If the school would bring unruly charges against a student, against a juvenile, that is a legal offense, so make sure you're going to school. But if you're truant, for example, we can bring charges against you as a school, and then I need to go to court on the school's behalf just to be there in that capacity. So it's different. It's a little bit different every day, which is nice. But no, it's just a lot of you have your hand on a lot of things all at once, and you just got to kind of keep up with everything. A lot of information coming in all the time, so you can make the best decisions.
What is a normal day in this career?
Oh, I just kind of described a normal day. So I just kind of described a normal day. The normal day is I get up around 5. I'll get here by 6:30, 6:45. Be here for 10, 11 hours. Just deal with a variety of things in the middle. I interact with the police probably on a weekly basis at least. Cooperate with them for some investigation things, some legal things. A lot of parent contact. They need to be notified of anything that pertains to their student discipline-wise. Good things. I like to pass along remarks of good things that students are doing. Parents appreciate to hear that. A lot of meetings, things like special education meetings require a district representative, an administrator, that'd be me, to be present. So I attend a lot of those to advocate for those students and contribute to that conversation. So that's a pretty typical day. In a 5-day week, I probably have between 3 and 4 IEP meetings, for example, on top of everything else. We sometimes get together as principals and exclusively meet just as principals for the whole district. We have a district leadership team where we meet with the superintendent and board members and representatives from all the buildings. We also, coordinate and lead staff meetings periodically with teachers. And another big part of my job too that sometimes gets forgotten is, I evaluate teachers. In the context of kind of trying to help a teacher identify an area that they can get better, so that our students can have better education. So that's a big part of my job as well.
Are there options for promotions?
Options for promotion, sure. Just kind of with this license that I have, you can be I could be a full-blown building leader. I could have my own building versus just being an assistant. These kind of qualifications, you can do some district positions, like curriculum director and things of that nature. I do not have a superintendent's license, so I need to take additional coursework and get a license to be a superintendent. So you have your formal education typically, and then that makes you eligible to apply and receive a license for some job. And so sometimes when you need to change or you want to move into a different area, you have to go back, get a little more school for that new position. So as I am now, I just have some versatility, building leadership type stuff, and maybe some lesser district level positions as well.
What is the highest level you could achieve?
Highest level, probably a district, maybe like a curriculum director. You could be like a business manager, and you could help coordinate some of the financial sides of things. So that's probably about the highest level in terms of advancement that way. A lot of people too. I mean, you can go back. You can become a consultant. Some people would have similar qualifications as I. Might have a private company they work for, and they might just go around and help coordinate staff in other buildings and just be a consultant to help help staff get better, work together better, help their students, whatever. So there's some different options that way too.
What advice would you give to someone pursuing this career?
I think the best advice to someone pursuing this career is just to kind of keep your mind open. I was in high school not that long ago, and I never imagined that I'd be kind of helping to lead and run one at this point in my life. When I graduated high school, when I was in high school, education wasn't even on my radar as something I wanted to think about, and it ended up being something that I really enjoy. I like coming to work every day. I like the people I work with. I like the students. I like the variety, and so just keep your mind open. I think some of some of the best people that I know are educators, and so it's a great field to go into. Just to keep your mind open. And there's a lot of neat ways that you can kind of get in touch with your passions and your purposes too, as an educator. Whether it's you're coaching an athletic team, you can give back to a community in that way by being in the field of education, and that's a big deal for me. It's important. So.
How long is schooling?
Total school, well, I'm a little unconventional. I decided to go into education halfway through my junior year of undergrad. So I finished a biology pre-medicine degree, and I had a little extra time in my schedule. So I took basically 2 years worth of education classes in 1 year. My senior year of my first 4 years of college, I had to do a fifth undergraduate level year then to become a teacher, and then I did a 2 year program to get my master's in administration, so I can be in this position now. So all told, 7 years. You could probably do it in closer to 6, 5.5, 6, if you're really motivated and knew exactly where you wanted to go from the start. But again, in order to get to the administrator level, you have to be in the classroom a certain number of years, and I believe it's 3. So you're going to probably do your teaching thing for a few years, and then start to make that transition if that's where you want to go.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Stay in school.